version of what is an innovation manager, and I thought I'd show it this way, what my friends think I do. They hear me talk a lot about ideas, helping people have good ideas, looking after ideas, trying to keep them alive. What does society think I do? They probably think I'm some sort of mad professor. Maybe that's true. What about my peers? Yeah? I think they think I do quite a bit of time daydreaming, coming up with wacky ideas to annoy them with. But I think some of them are also find me a bit scary. They think that I lead the rebellion. What about my boss? I think he hopefully feels that I'm constantly putting rabbits out of the hat. What I think I do when I'm having a bad day, this is what it feels like. It feels like Sisyphus pushing the stone up the mountain every day, only to find it's at the beginning when I come back into work. Happily, those are only a few of the days, and more often than not, it feels awesome. Being an innovation manager is a pretty cool thing to be in an organization. And to finally, what I actually do, this was the best picture I could find to kind of summarize to me what it feels like, a plate spinner. Now, lots of jobs are multitasking, looking after different things, but I chose this carefully. Plates are fragile. Ideas are fragile. It's about keeping things alive, about keeping things going, about making things flow, and there's only one guy doing it. Being an innovation manager can be kind of a lonely thing. You often feel very alone against the rest of the organization. So, moving on. Getting away from the humor a little bit and what it actually is, I think innovation manager is very much as well about creating this thing that we call sustainable innovation capability. So over the years, I've built this map that I'm about to put on the screen, which to me are the building blocks that need to be put in place to create this sustainable innovation capability. Now, when I moved from Bombardier Aerospace to Swisslog, I remember thinking, okay, I'm going to take everything I've learned at Bombardier and try and do it again at Swisslog. How do I structure that? And this was the map that I drew. And we actually created a traffic light system to say which of these things are green. At the time, there was only one, which was innovation manager. I'd just been recruited. Which are amber and which are red. And then let's put the plan in place to actually build these building blocks and create the structure. I'm happy to see people taking pictures. Go ahead and do that. This one always gets lots of pictures taken. And right now, I've kind of taken a bit of a different trajectory. I'm over here in intellectual property management. So that's very interesting for me as well. I'm now no longer the person looking after the complete capability and a person who's delivering a piece over on the side. Welcome, everybody. Okay, I'll carry on. Okay, welcome, everybody. It's arrived. Very, very 30-second recap. I talked a bit about where this comes from. This whole topic is not about Volvo. So if you came to hear about trucks, that's not what we're about. It's about what it's like to be an innovation manager. This is what I've done in my career. At one stage, I transitioned from being the innovator into the innovation manager, and that happened almost exactly 10 years ago. So what I'm going to tell you is kind of some battle stories, war stories about what's happened there. And to be honest, if I was starting again from 10 years ago, there are some things I would do a bit differently. Because my view is that innovation initiatives fail too often. And I'm going to expand on that topic as we go. We had a bit of humor talking about what innovation manager is, or more specifically what I am, and then this map, which lots of people take photos of, which is my view of the building blocks that need to be put in place to create a sustainable innovation capability. All right, we're back up to date. So, my theory is that innovation initiatives have a life cycle. And if we actually tried to plot that, you could say that on the y-axis, we've got energy, positivity, potential, engagement. So note, I'm not talking about output there. And on the x-axis, we have time. And it seems to me that the life cycle looks something like this. We start off being extremely positive and feeling great. Then there's the sort of realization of reality in that, wow, this is really hard and we don't know what we're doing. And actually, it's hard to make it happen in the organization. We hit a low point and then we build it back up again. And there's a peak, a zenith here, where it's probably got as good as it's going to get. And I feel that that takes kind of 1 to 3 years. It's not just a feeling. I've been there. I've done it. I've been in this role in 4 different organizations now. And then what happens after that is there's a general decline. Now, is this particular to innovation initiatives? I don't think so. We can all think of situations in the organizations we work for where an initiative comes along, which is the most important thing ever, and it's supposed to save the company. We do it, it's great, and then after that, it kind of gets forgotten. But it does have some lasting residual effect. I think this is not how innovation initiatives are portrayed. Many presentations you'll hear at a forum like this, it's all about the innovation initiative that's going to transform the company forever and have a lasting effect, which is up here and continues. Frankly, that's not my experience. But if this is true, is it a bad thing? Or do we actually understand it and take advantage of this fact? And how could we make it more sustainable so that we don't have this drop-off as bad and we have a bigger residual effect? And finally, if it is true, what does it mean for people like us? People who maybe, and we did a survey before you all came in, who are involved in these innovation programs, perhaps just starting them and thinking, what am I going to do? And gosh, does it mean that I don't have this job after 3 years? Well, having done it for 10 years, I can say that's probably not the case because there aren't many of us around and organizations need us.